Alright team, so we are finally back breaking down the strategies that have actually been working for me in this current market. It's been a really fun time. I've been super consistent with penny stocks, and again, those strategies are what we're showing you in today's video. Before we take a look at that, understand that I can't guarantee these setups and strategies will work for you. Everyone's a little bit different and has different personalities, and so I can't guarantee they will work, but I can say they have worked for me so far. Before we look at those though, hit that like and subscribe button if you want to show support for our free content, and let's take a look. Okay, so to understand the topic of today's video, you really have to understand how penny stock traders use the VWAP in their own trading. Now, I'm not going to say they all use it this way, but I know a lot of penny stock traders use the VWAP as a milestone level for that penny stock to break over, especially in day trading. And so when a stock drops and then breaks above that VWAP area, actually holding it as support and bouncing off of it, that's usually a pretty big sign of strength that a lot of other traders see and are looking to take advantage of. And so what I'm doing with these different trades is I'm using that VWAP level as that big milestone level, and then I'm buying on the pullbacks to test as a support area. And so basically when the stock actually breaks above the VWAP after being below it at the opening bell, I'm looking to buy on those pullbacks, looking for the VWAP to hold it up as support, because again, a lot of other traders are doing this exact same thing, and a lot of traders are using it as that type of milestone level. And so especially if I can find a stock that opens weak on the day and actually drops at the opening bell below the VWAP and then breaks above it with some volume coming in, that's my favorite area to dip buy into. And again, if you've been watching my videos and especially my live streams over the past few weeks, you see this strategy and you see me attack it over and over and over again. Now, as always, I can't guarantee this setup and strategy is actually going to work for you because everyone's a little bit different and there's more nuance to it than that. But at the same time, I'm really going to try to break down exactly how I have approached these different trades during these past few weeks so you can get a good idea on how I'm using this strategy in the current penny stock market. So let's take a look at these strategies now. Okay, so before we delve deeper into the actual strategies I'm using, I did want to preface the strategy section with these few understandings. Number one is that I'm only attacking stocks that have an average volume over the last 20 minutes of over 200,000 shares traded per minute. On Thinkorswim, you can see that down here. As long as the average just about is over 200,000 shares traded per minute on the stock I'm looking for, I consider that good enough volume here in penny stocks for me to attack these strategies. And volume is absolutely crucial. I need this volume to be there if I'm going to take this trade. If it's not, I move on and look for a better option. That's something you really need to understand, especially in these momentum-based penny stocks, because ultimately volume is what controls them, and without it, your strategies will ultimately fail a larger percentage of the time. And really, this leads me to my next condition, which is that I need the float to be under 50 million. With larger floats, they usually have less volatility in a smaller range on average, and so with these strategies, I'm looking for that momentum and I'm looking for a smaller float, again, preferably under 50 million. If I can wait for smaller float stocks, especially under 10 million, then it's going to work a larger percentage of the time in my opinion, and again, that has to do with the momentum that comes with low float stocks. Now that we have the conditions set again for the type of strategies we're using in this video, let's go ahead and take a look at the live examples from last week using Thinkorswim on demand. Okay, so the first one I want to go over is right here on XELB from Monday. This one had a really short and kind of neutral open. We had some consolidation and some upward moves, but once we started to really break over the VWAP, you could see here we had a ton of green consecutive candles, and we see some volume really start to come in at around 10 o'clock market time. This is really significant because everyone who sees this big move happening, they see all the green candles in a row, they see the break over the VWAP, which is again a milestone level that a lot of other day traders watch, and again they see the volume come in, breaking 1 million shares traded per minute. all of those traders are now waiting for an entry. They don't want to buy it as it's breaking highs because that can get really easily faked out there, and a lot of experienced traders are actually taking profit at those high of the day levels. And so in turn, they're waiting for a pullback to buy into, and when everyone sees this big move, because it's so obvious and self-evident, a lot of buyers are going to pile in after these pullbacks a huge percentage of the time, and we're going to get some upward momentum that we can dip buy into. And again, And that's what we did here with XELB. We saw this big run up over the VWAP, the milestone level. We bought into the pullback and we rode the bounce up, scalping out of it with a really nice green trade. Again, the key here is identifying really obvious moves that everyone else sees. You know, it's breaking over the VWAP, again, a milestone level. Volumes coming in really nicely, and we had a ton of green candles in a row, which obviously shows a lot of strength. And so waiting for pullbacks after big runs like that, especially to the VWAP or a whole dollar level like $3 here, can be a really profitable strategy to add to your trading arsenal. And as I always say, I can't guarantee this is going to work for everyone else. Nothing is 100% in trading. It's been one of my favorite strategies the last few weeks, and so I hope you can find use with it. Okay, so the next one I wanted to go over was from SOS from last week, and this one opened up and got rejected at the VWAP. Remember, that's a milestone level, and so when SOS was rejected there at the opening bell and started to maintain that downward trend, traders saw a bearish or downward sentiment on this specific stock. And later on in the day, at around 11 to 11:30 market time, this one actually started to break above the VWAP, and you can see here, volume started to come in, helping to change that sentiment from bearish to bullish. Now, when we have a lot of green candles in a row, just like the last example, what are traders waiting for here? They're waiting for pullback entries because, again, they don't want to buy it at high of the day levels because that can fake you out a ton of the time, and experienced traders are actually taking profit at those high of the day areas. And so instead, most experienced traders are actually waiting for pullback entries here to buy into SOS. And so again, when we break over the VWAP, which is again a milestone level, and then we get a really obvious and self-evident pullback to it, a ton of traders are piling in there on the long side, and that causes bullish momentum and causes a lot of bounces that we can dip buy into. And that's exactly what we can do here with SOS. We can wait for the volume to come in, we can wait for a really nice and obvious upward move breaking over that VWAP milestone level, and we can buy the pullback into that first few bounces. You can see the momentum coming in after that pullback was really nice, and again, this is one of my favorite trades to attack. You just have to have the patience to wait for these type of indicators and signals with volume coming in, with it breaking over the VWAP, and with having a really obvious move over the VWAP area. It's a really profitable trade, again guys, if you can have the discipline for it, and so I hope you can learn from these different strategies. Okay, so for my last example in today's video, I wanted to take a look at CEMI. Now, this one looks very similar to the last few with a few subtle differences as well. This one was maintaining below the VWAP, again, maintaining that downward trend for the first hour or so after the open. When we finally started to push back up and test the VWAP area, we got volume coming in. We were maintaining about 1 million shares traded per minute. And so again, when we have all these green candles in a row and we have this good volume and we're breaking over that VWAP milestone level, a ton of traders are waiting for the pullback entry to dip buy into to try to ride the bounce up with it respecting that VWAP area. And that's exactly what we got here with CEMI. Again, the reason this works is because so many other traders are seeing that big milestone move over the VWAP and they're waiting for that entry. Again, like I've said a bunch of times already in this video, they don't want to buy it at high of the day breaks because experienced traders are a lot of the time taking profit at those high of the day break levels. Instead, they're waiting for better risk reward dip buy entries that they can bounce up and ride that up for profit. That's what we're really trying to do with these trades, and again, we're using that VWAP area as a milestone level. When we finally break above that, we're looking to dip buy into pullbacks to the VWAP and anticipating a bounce at the VWAP level. That's what we're doing with each of these different trades in a little bit different ways, but it works really well. Again, if you can kind of condition yourself to take these type of trades and condition that discipline, you need to make this work. With all of that said, guys, just remember just how important it is to be aware of where the VWAP is in these specific trades. The VWAP can act as a resistance level as well, and so I never buy these stocks if the VWAP is above me for that reason. Too many times the VWAP is just going to reject it back down, and so make sure you understand that with these type of trades. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Like I said, if you want to help support our completely free content here, hit the like and subscribe button. Let's run those up. Also, remember, I can't guarantee these will work for you. They don't work for everybody. You have to test them yourself and make sure you understand that before you move forward. Day trading can be incredibly risky. We are not experts here. We're just a free resource and community. And so make sure to test everything yourself before risking your money. And that's something that you should always do regardless of how good or bad someone says they are. With that said, guys, good luck in the market. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later, guys.